Good morning, afternoon, or evening. Welcome to the channel. Just a quick heads up that these videos are off the cuff, informal, generally unprepared tidbits that go out in the middle of the workday. Click of a button, the message gets out, and it usually has to do with something going on in the office with client work at that moment. So I hope some of these videos can help you as they do our clients and get you through your issue with the SSA world, whether it's disability, SSD, SSI, or retirement, working while disabled, etc. So enjoy the video. Hope it helps you in some way, shape, or form. Bye now. I think one of the hardest questions people have on the function report are some of the open-ended ones that are not yes or no. And I'm looking at one, I see this all the time. The question about for how long can you pay attention? I mean, it is such a hard question to answer. So I think you want to answer in a way that serves you best. Accurately, of course. All too often, I see the response, it depends. Ironically, it depends is truly accurate. It depends. It's accurate, but it's not helpful to you because that's true of everybody. So the crux of this question, I think, has more to do with, is your attention in any way limited compared to perhaps what it used to be before you were disabled, which is what you're claiming. Now, understand, even if you are filing with your understanding that it's because of a physical problem, and I know I have video on this, guys, about how you cannot be looking at what you think is the disabling thing and think that's game over. Normally, very rarely does one impairment result in taking out all the jobs you need to eliminate from the labor market, the job market in the economies, both regional and national. So remember, if there are allegedly 12,000 occupations out there of high skilled, no skilled, third grade job, sedentary to extremely arduous, very heavy work. If there are 12,000, which is the basic answer they always have, say, in the dictionary of occupational titles upon which they rely, your physical impairment may take out 80%. And you're like, bingo, and I can't do my job that I'm used to doing. That is by and large not going to be sufficient. There are special rules when we're older that we can sometimes work to prove that. And it can be a little less arduous to prove, assuming certain basic things are already met with regard to your past relevant work and the transferability of your skills. And those are complicated terms of art. But by and large, for even those people, knocking out 80% of the jobs due to physical impairments that are well documented in your medical records, and you've done a great job with them, that is not necessarily going to find you disabled from all jobs. It is those funny little things that you don't think about because they didn't actually knock you out of your current job. Something else did, the big thing. So paying attention is one of them. This one is particularly important for people who are over 50. It can still be important down below, so you just want to take note of this. Not to mention these answers sometimes travel with you through various applications over the course of time. So remember, it's always in the file. How long can you pay attention? It depends is not helpful. And I know they don't give you a lot of space, but you could use remarks for this perhaps. If it depends, what does it depend on? Does it depend on your pain level? And by the way, then give it the time frame because they ask for how long. If the deal is when my pain is not under well control, good control, maybe you can pay attention for 30 seconds. If you're having a good day and the pain is well controlled, one would think perhaps, unless you have a different disorder that could be a mental one, such as anxiety, that can really do a number on your attention span, you would reflect that better day. Now, for anxiety, it could be that when I'm in a more anxious state, if my anxiety is heightened, it might be that you have zero attention span because your mind is running over here, right? It's not looking at that. Maybe you can do a little better when you're in a more calm state. Maybe after your medication is kicked in, if you're on an anti-anxiety medication. But of course, that brings in other things, sleepiness, which also brings in lack of attention span. So many ways to skin this cat. I would not leave it at it depends and leave it at that. You could say it depends on my pain level. So bad pain, 0 or 30 seconds or 1 minute. If my pain is moderate, somewhat controlled, you can get X minutes out of me. And of course, it might depend on the subject matter. How much can you pay attention to really boring material? Like me, this is why I try to keep these short, because I know you're going to be like, I'm out. So, you know, um, get a little specific if it's helpful to your case and know what is helpful. You know, if you say, oh, I have such bad attention span now. I used to be able to pay attention for 6 hours and now I'm down to 4. I got news for you. That's going to be bad for any case. Yeah, you're impaired. Your previous good, attention skill was very strong, and now it's less strong. But guess what? It's still pretty darn good. In terms of the many, 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 many jobs that don't require high-end attention, just moderate to low attention. So you always have to keep in mind that they're talking about all jobs. So if you have something that very limits you at times, let's say it's, well, maybe once a day in the middle of the afternoon, I can't focus on anything. And you find that's not too troublesome because you don't really have to. That would interrupt a workday if you're in a job that requires you to be paying attention. So different ways to have to write these things up to explain that. But I think it's something you want to take note and don't ever just leave it as it depends. Never, 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 never. There's other ones that we'll go into about that one, but that's one that people use a lot because it's such a difficult question to answer. It's so varied and it's so nebulous, but try to do something. Okay. Besides, it depends. All right. See you guys. That was 20D. Talk to you later. Bye.